Destiny Rising, it's the greatest Gacha game of all time. I'm madly in love. Thank you so much, Netties. What's going on, boys? TTVE_Thin. I wanted to go over Destiny Rising. This is their Gacha version of the game. It's very different than Destiny 2, but it honestly has some really great features and some like features that are associated with normal Gacha games. If you play Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, Honkai Star Rail, etc. So I just kind of wanted to break everything down, a day one guide of how it went, what the UI is like, what you're looking for, and there's some genuine positives about this game, but there is some negatives. So I'm going to leave my initial thoughts towards the end, but overall I'm having fun. So to break it down, unlike Destiny 1, Destiny 2, obviously the main gameplay loop was to get guns and whatnot. This game is different. You are pulling for characters. So, for example, you see I have here this person, Kabar. I then have Wolf. I have Akora. I have Finala. So they are all different classes, right? It's going to tell you whether a hunter or a warlock, whatever the case may be. And each character uses specific weapons. Super different than Destiny. You know, in your primary slot, you could have a hand cannon, you could have SMG, you could have whatever. Here, you only have a pulse rifle for Kabar. The secondary can only be a machine gun. At the bottom, it shows you the guns you don't own, right? So if I go over here, like these are the guns I don't own. These are exotics and whatnot. They still have exotics, obviously. So very interesting stuff. Now, the gun system, if you played Destiny 2 before, it's very similar. You have your normal frame, so you have your aggressive burst, but then you're going to have your perk pools. So it's going to do this one, Yelena Guard. So defeating a target within a 6-meter radius of yourself or an ally immediately triggers your and ally's health regen. You would then have no distractions. After aiming after 1 second, gaining a greatly reduced flinch, which is awesome. Flash mobs, it's going to tell you what perks are good per gun to kind of help ease the pain a little bit, right? So this is a recommended perk, and also you could do a dismantle right here. So you see it has the recommended, bam. And even you click here, it tells you what the recommended gear is, right? Now, we don't have mods unlocked yet. This is currently gated behind progression, which obviously comes with Gacha, which I'll get to later. And now if I wanted to go here to modify, I can increase the levels. I don't have enough to actually increase this one as of yet, but let's just say for whatever reason, if I don't like a gun, I increase the level of this gun, Type 7 Moonshot, which is a rapid fire frame with different perks. I could go to modify, I could hit this back button, and bam. Well, apparently I didn't enhance this one. I thought I did. I must have been a different gun. Maybe it was this one? Question mark? I don't know. It was one of them. But you're able to unenhance a weapon. So if I click here, it's going to say resetting the legendary weapon incurs no loss. So everything I invested, I will get back, which is awesome. Love that, right? And then if you go here, modify, like again, this is raising gear level, mods, etc. We don't have that. So pretty basic stuff there. Now you have your relic abilities. Your relic abilities are going to be your skill trees, right? So we go here. This is the abilities that this character has specifically. He sends out a gigantic burst, and it's also being able to blind the enemies in front of me, right? So if I wanted to upgrade this, it's going to cost Glimmer. If you're a Gacha player, this is Mora in Genshin Impact, you know, just your basic currency. So I'm going to click upgrade, but it also uses the type of materials. Incandescent Tough. Now, the good thing about these Gacha games is they pretty much tell you where to get everything. So it's going to give you the source of every single place you can get the material required. Now, obviously, we might not have access to some of these sources, but it's still showing it right here. So I'm going to level this just for the shits and giggles. So it brings it up and it tells me exactly what it's leveling, right? So, you know, Cabra enters his state and fires a powerful arc beam, etc. My power goes up to 750. Thunder Shield travels up to 70 meters, and this is going up plus 92. And, you know, pretty much basic stuff. Now, this is going to be unlocks at 1620 power. I'm not at 1620 power yet, right? So, and then you have your burst, and then you have your skill and kind of like your grenade. So I have my barrier, and then I also have a blinding shield. So you get 3 abilities. Those are your 3 abilities. Bam. You also get this in the top right here, which will unlock at 19,410 power. This is Weapon Mastery. This will come with time, obviously, and all of these will come with time as well. as you level up, you are going to see progressively, you're going to require different materials. So for example, incandescence ribbon, well, that looks all really fucking similar to this one. It's an evolution of the blue. So keep in mind, you are going to have to grind specific activities to get this, right? I could make a synthesis. I could take my blue to purple, but obviously that'd be a waste at the moment. I don't need purple at the moment. But this is how the talent tree works. It's pretty simple. You can do a quick reset, and it says the reset feature will become unavailable after completing the handbook. So if you want to do that for now, you can. I wouldn't recommend it, but whatever. Artifacts. Artifacts are very different in this game than Destiny 2. So the way Artifact works, again, if you play Genshin Impact, you're very familiar with this. You have a completely different spot, and obviously they're all going to give you something different. But there are artifact sets in the game. So, for example, this one has a set bonus. You need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And then once you get the set bonus, it says recover 1.54% health per second with an overshield, right? Obviously, each one is going to have a different set bonus. This one's an overshield to 15.75% of max health. Pretty basic stuff. I'll show you where you can get artifacts after. The rarity of artifacts are always going to increase. Normally in gacha games, it goes blue artifacts, then purple, and then yellow, which are legendary artifacts. So you don't really want to sit down and like try to, worry about these, especially early game. But this is how the artifact system is working currently. And you can see that, well, really, I don't have much going on here, right? My attribute requirement, 47 out of 300. It's not looking too good right now, boys. It's not looking too good. Equipped mythic quality. I assume that's the highest one. So pretty basic stuff there. Talent tree. Talent trees are completely new. If you've never played a gacha game ever in your life, the way a lot of gacha games work is since they require pulling, well, you are able to get up something called constellations. That's what I call these, constellations from Genshin Impact, where each subsequent constellation is going to give you some sort of boost. I'm just showing you 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., right? So if I go here, I'm going to swap back right now. Oh, wrong screen. I have my Constellation 1 activated. If I click on Constellation 2, it says my blinding shield max number of charges increased to 2. So I'm getting some sort of power increase / new abilities with these constellations. These are very important in gacha games and a lot of times very quote unquote game breaking. Like when you get the highest you get, the so fucking broken you become. Now, keep in mind, from what I'm seeing, Constellation 2 only requires 1. But I click on Constellation 3, and it's going to require 2 constellations to get to the third one, which is a little fucking crazy, but it is what it is, right? 4 is going to require 2, 5 is going to require 3 copies of this same character, and 6 is going to require another 3 copies of this character. So you need 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 copies of a character to completely gain every single fucking benefit of their kit, right? Now, it's too early to tell how broken these are. I don't think many people probably have S6s unless you're whaling, but most of the time, S6s are fucking broken. And then the lore section, you kind of go here and you just do whatever they tell you. This is just free currency. This is literally just free gacha currency. You know, as time goes on, you unlock this shit and then it's easy peasy. So that's pretty much the overview, the main overview. Obviously, you have your power level. Your power level is going to increase when you put on better gear, right? So it's 13,695 right now. Let's just say I enhance this for whatever reason. I actually really don't like this weapon, but it is what it is. So whatever. I'll take one for the boys and increase my power, my DPS, my damage. We go back and bam, 13,820. So that's how it works. One of the downsides that I'll talk about later is, again, each character is super specific. So this unit, Wolf, he can only use auto rifles and grenade launchers. Akora can only use grenade launchers and rocket launchers. And this one can only use, auto rifles and swords. So it's a little eh. But, it's a gacha game. What can you do? So you hit tab. You have so much fucking shit to look at. Right now, we are capped. We are capped out we are not able to get to level 21 at the moment with day one. So we're only, if I click max, it says you've completed a maximum number of quests for today. But this is pretty much your guidebook, your handbook. This is going to give you the step-by-step of everything you need to do to progress through the game. So if you're lost saying, hey, Ethan, what the fuck do I do? Just go to the handbook and you will be okay. You just have to follow this along. They have a training ground that teaches you all of the things if you don't play Destiny, elemental matches, finishers, double jumps, etc. Some of these trainings unlock later on, as you could see. There's character trainings to see which characters you might enjoy, because again, they all have different abilities and different guns they can use. And these are going to be more trials that you can do. You do these for gacha currency. So when you're not spending money, you're gonna want to gobble these up as much as possible to get this gacha currency. So that's pretty much the rundown of the handbook. Now the optional stuff, it's optional. It's just for more currency. Everything about a gacha game is simply acquire currency to pull for the character / weapon. In this game, it's the characters, right? So the draw screen, this is where you actually go to acquire each unit. So the way this works, to my understanding, is that it's a 60 pity, which means every single pull you do is -1 pity. It says a current draw chance of 1%, but it goes up as time goes on. And there is no 50-50 system. So that means if you were trying to pull for Gwen right here, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman, in 60 pulls, you are guaranteed to get this unit in 60 pulls. One single pull is 180. So you see I'm at 175. I'm off a little bit. It says I need 5 right here. I need 5 of these or 5 silver, whichever one. If you play Destiny 2, Destiny 1, you know what silver is. These pulls, the Bon Voyage charms, these are the limited banner pulls, and the blue ones right here, these are the standard banner pulls. So standard banners are normally a banner that stays the same. In the standard banner, you will always get one of these motherfuckers. Always. In the limited banner, these rotate. So she has 27 days left before a new limited banner comes out. So keep that in mind. The gacha is pretty straightforward. Obviously, a 10 pull would cost you 1,800, but that's how the gacha works, right? They do have a battle pass, very similar with the D2 battle pass. At level 10, you will get an exotic weapon. You're going to get this. It's called Furries, and I don't even know. This is a pulse rifle, and you will get more catalysts as time goes on. It tells you what these catalysts do, etc. And then exotic boost catalyst. So you can even get extra substats here. Handling, this is under Catalyst 2, Catalyst 3, etc. So, you know, pretty straightforward stuff. The battle pass is going to give you tons of things. It's going to give you bright dust. It's going to give you level up mats. It's going to give you wishes. And again, if you're not too sure, Ethan, what the fuck is an enhancement prism? Perfect. Just click on the magnifying glass. It tells you what it is. Used to acquire a selected enhancement prism. You pick one of these. So they all look similar, but the thing with gacha games is when you're increasing that talent page and their skills, they're all going to normally require a specific subsections of items. So you see how this one is labeled Weapon Enhancement Prism Spread. This is going to be for people that use light grenade launchers, or rocket launchers. This one, Rapid Fire, is for people that use pulse rifles, auto rifles, SMGs, and crossbows. This is for hand cannons, sniper rifles, etc. So you see what's happening here. These enhancement prisms are for specific gun types, so only certain characters will be able to use these. So that's why there's a selection of these. Pretty straightforward stuff. There is some cosmetics in the game, you know, obviously some skins and whatnot. Pretty easy right there. Now, going to the store is just shilling. I'm not gonna lie, the store is shilling the fuck out of everything. This is the main character you could buy. This is the featured bundles. You know, do you want to buy this character? For 1,100. Now, me personally, I'm not spending any money on the game. I'm doing completely free to play, and this is a 5,000% value off. But as you can see, you go through all of this. These are standard pulls. This is going to be get this character, then you get a skin for them. You just go down. It's just shilling. Nothing crazy here. You don't need me to break down the shilling aspect of the video game for you. I think you guys got that. You do have an exchange shop where you're able to get credits by participating in Shifting Gates research, which is an activity. This is an activity which I'll get to in a moment. and you can exchange it. So I can get one limited pull with my 15. My 15, I have 40 right now. I can get 20 prisms for the week. For the week, right? It resets every week. Oh, I'm a silly goofy goober. I backed out. So there's different places. There's different things you could buy here, right? You buy whatever you want. There's weapons. There's level up materials for your characters. You have battle pass stuff here for your battle pass currencies, your exotic shops and whatnot. So you get this currency as you just play the game and whatnot. Pretty straightforward, right? We then have characters, which we've already went over. Rankings, I don't really know. I guess there's leaderboards for this stuff right now, but again, everything's so new that it's kind of like whatever, right? And so I'm going to move myself over here. You do have your inventory. So I have some engrams. These engrams, this engram in particular, I'm actually able to choose exactly which one I want. It said grants a selected one. Actually, both of them do. So if I wanted to choose any of these guns, I could use it with this engram. So notice, though, I click here, and it says I own a Korra, because you have to keep in mind, only in my roster at the moment, a Korra can use a grenade launcher. Let's say I wanted to get a sidearm, right? I want to get this sidearm. Well, I don't own a character that could use sidearms at the moment. So if I get this, I'm cucking myself. So keep this in mind. The game walks you through everything. It tells you, don't fuck up, right? So, bam, I can't use this linear fusion because a Tell has this. I don't have a Tell. I do have Vanilla, who uses a sword if I wanted to pick a sword, right? I'm holding on to the engrams at the moment just for myself, but, you know, this is pretty basic stuff, just showing you what you have, your artifacts, your inventory and synthesis. Over here, you're able to use fragments, to my understanding, to try to get catalysts out of this, whatnot. You can get mythic items here and character upgrades. So pretty normal stuff. You have your tokens, nothing crazy. And now for the activities. The activities at the moment, notice right here, before we even break down the activities, you have 2 banks. This is your resin bank. This is your resin bank. So Pinnacle Energy and Pinnacle Energy Reserves. If you want to do an activity, I'm going to click on Adventure, and let's say I want to do Haven Ops. Haven Ops are going to give me artifacts and elemental fruits, which are used to level up my character's talents. It is 20 gold little circles to do 1 Heaven Op. It is 20 of them. Now, I have a bounty here. I just claimed some of these right now. I claimed some of these. You just go to bounties and bam. So if I wanted to do this right here, I would need 20. Now, you see it's red. I'm out. You know, you could probably launch this anyways, just if you wanted to play the game, but you're not going to get the Pinnacle rewards. You're not going to get what they're offering here. It could be a legendary weapon. It could be an engram. They're going to give you one of these. You get your glimmer, and then the Pinnacle wards, etc. So keep that in mind. It says here, recovers 120 at 7 a.m. every day up to the capacity. So it seems like this is a little interesting. I'm not too sure on this yet, but if it's only recovering about half of the resin, that's what I call it, it's resin from other games, at 7 a.m., and then it's just letting it build up through the rest. I mean, that's not that bad. Most games you need to wait a full 24 hours to get a recovery rate. I don't know at let's see, spend Pinnacle Energy to claim rewards. 120 points daily at 4 a.m. for a maximum. Yeah, I don't know how much you get back per minute. Sometimes some games it's 8 minutes for 1 resin, but very interesting. Pinnacle Energy Reserves, this is pretty much just letting you know that, hey, you can use Pinnacle Energy to make up for it, right? So, easy. You could buy Pinnacle Energy. Most of the time a reserve is when you're not playing the game and it carries over. But so it seems it's a little bit different here that you're able to buy these, which is interesting. Normally that's not the case, but okay. That's how they're doing it. It's kind of their way of shilling. And so Haven Ops we have here. Calamity Ops we don't unlock yet. We have Realm of the X or IX. This is their version of a roguelike mode. It's actually pretty entertaining and pretty fun. You go in, you do a bunch of different levels, and you pick the different buffs that you want. So now, for example, I currently did the first one. Now I have to wait to do the second one, right? And also here has a Paraverse. So when you go in here, you could actually get upgrades. It gives you coins to spend. I'm blocking it right now, but I can grant a 10% max health and shield in the current stage after dying. Unstackable. So you buy something and you get these different trees. So that's really awesome in terms of the roguelike mode. Now, I actually think you can do this without resin to my understanding, which is pretty cool. It's just that it's a little bit of a high power level, but that's awesome. So this seems to be a not resin locked, and you get first clear rewards. So there's a lot of fucking levels, and you get your first clear rewards. You can get your reputation for each little faction or whatever. You know, gear, awesome. Or not reputation, I'm sorry. There seems to be some sort of gear. I apologize. It looked like the reputation, because there is reputation, which I'll show you in a moment. So there's that. Legacy, this is, I actually don't know. I don't even want to lie to you. I haven't been able to do this yet because I ran out of resin. But you can see that they have all the activities here. Legendary campaigns, gauntlet ops, etc. Now I'm going to go down one right here. Calamity ops we don't have yet. Legacy, that's the thing I literally just clicked. They do have strikes. The strike was pretty cool. And they have, this is the mode we just discussed, the roguelike mode. So that's pretty much the actual type of content that they have at the moment. Now they do have, I want to pull this up, shifting gates. I just went there right here at the top. This is their version of Gambit. It's so fucking sick. Their version of Gambit, it's like, I don't know, I think there's 3 or 5 teams or 6 teams of 3, and you all go in and go at it. Whoever gets the most points obviously wins. You kill someone, you get half their shit slashed, right? It's also showing I could exchange some of this for resin, by the way, which is a little crazy. But this is their version of Gambit. It's PvP, PvE. I haven't seen a regular PvP yet. I don't know if maybe that's level locked, but the Theodolite here, this is pretty much just you picking a deck of cards, and these deck of cards are going to be active in Gambit. So this is a PvE card, a PvP section, and a substance. So the first 2 cards are normally considered like basic cards. They don't really have anything crazy to them. The 3 and 4 are able to be golden cards, and you could pick whichever one. Obviously, you have to unlock the slots first and whatnot, but pretty straightforward. You know what I mean? Like the game, it's honestly just pretty straight up, right? And so, yeah, we don't have this yet. I don't know what that is yet. And obviously on the bottom, you can go to your strike, you can go to your legacy, singularity order. It's all right here. And they do have something else I will show you. The map, the world map. So right now I'm in the Haven, right? But in Haven, there's different things, right? So obviously you can launch activities. You could fast travel. This is the main hub. But the other world, they do have the open world. So I'm going to go back to world map. I go to this place right here. They have public events. It's very reminiscent of D1, D2. You go here. It says a public event in progress right now. You know, the basic open world stuff from Destiny. And then you can launch, go to the bonfire here. So pretty straightforward. You know, there is a little timer, so this tells you when this public event's going to start. It tells you what rewards you can get. You have your basic TPs, and some vendors in the world do have a reputation that you could actually go to and possibly get rewards from. So I believe this is exactly where you would go for this, and all you got to do is just follow the list. It's going to tell you, hey, go do this in the world. Go collect 1,000,000 berries or whatever the fuck. And you do it, and you just get rewards, right? So very simple. I go here. The game also is very smooth, by the way. The only problem I had with maybe was the PvP mode, but
I'll protect her with my
bam.
life.
Go here. Your reputation, easy. Rank 1, go up, boom, 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 down to 20. Earn reputation. It literally tells you how much reputation per fucking activity. Super simple. Super simple. So I think Destiny Rising genuinely has some great potential. The gacha is a little interesting. I have not done the math as someone who plays gacha games a lot on the main channel. I haven't done the math to figure out like which rates are better in terms of like maybe a Genshin Impact or other ways to a Destiny Rising. I do like that there is no 50-50. There is also third person, first person, etc. But overall, I think the game is fun. I think it's fun. I think it's a cute twist on the game. I do think that locking the primaries behind different characters is a little bit of an L. I wish that they would lock the special weapons behind the characters that you use instead of primaries, because I think, like, you know, if a person logs in like, hey, I want to use a fucking hand cannon, but they don't have a hand cannon to use, well, then they're cooked, right? They might have to possibly buy a character to obtain a hand cannon, and that doesn't feel good, right? That's not a good feeling, especially if you're coming from Destiny, or you just don't have money, or you have bad luck, and it's going to take you a million years to actually obtain that. So that's my biggest piece of feedback at the moment. Again, we are locked to what everything you can do in one day, because realistically that's what gacha games do. I'm gonna get her in one pull, by the way. Easy peasy right here. Skip the animation. All right, boys. Well, that being said, that's the video, and let me know for any other help. I love you, boys. Mwah. I'll see you guys at the next one.